Anybody out there could put chicken drumsticks in the oven, but smoked chicken drumsticks? Yes. Today we are making smoked chicken drumsticks. But not just any chicken drumsticks, we're making these on my Pit Boss Austin XL. And we're not just gonna lay these chicken legs on the grates. No, we can't do that. We don't want grill marks today. We're gonna hang them on a little hanging rack. That way they just get saturated with as much hickory smoke as we possibly can. And we're not just gonna season them and let them smoke in a dry rub. We're gonna do that, but at the end, we're gonna dunk them in some sauce. I'm ready. Are you ready? Let's smoke them. So the first thing that we need to do today is get some paper towel and pat off our chicken legs. So guys, we're just gonna come in here and we're just gonna kind of grab our legs, just get them nice and dry. This is gonna help our skin to get a little bit crispier when we cook them. And for today's cook, getting that nice and crispy skin is gonna be really important because I wanna smoke these at a lower temperature. So the more moisture that we can get out of these bad boys, the better. This is gonna be some super awesome, tender, juicy, delicious little chicken legs. So today I'm just gonna be taking this salt, pepper, garlic, and I just want to get a nice little base layer, a nice little coat on there. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna kind of pick these up when I go to season them. This is gonna add a nice little base layer of flavor. So we're just gonna be picking these bad boys up. We're just kind of shaking them all around, making sure we get the top and the sides and get those little handles. This is the fun part of cooking, when you just get to smother it with a bunch of seasonings. And this guy right here is really, really big, so we're gonna coat him up real nice. So this is that sweet preacher I was talking about. It's gonna add in a nice little bit of color, but I don't wanna overdo it. I just wanna be able to see a little bit of the chicken. That looks really good to me. Let's go ahead and pop this little bad boy right here. Get the top. And that looks pretty perfect to me. And the reasoning why I really don't want to pop a whole bunch of the seasoning on there is because this isn't a brisket. This isn't a pork butt. These aren't ribs. This is just chicken. I love the flavor of juicy chicken when it gets some nice smoke on it. I don't want it to be covered up in a bunch of seasoning. The seasoning is just gonna help us to get a nice little pop of flavor on here, help get that skin crispied up. Oh yeah. This is starting to look like a dream to me. This fat's gonna render. It's gonna get nice and tender and juicy, filled with smoke. That's how we like it. That's good for our seasoning today. So this is what it's gonna look like when it is all said and done. It's gonna be nice and seasoned up, but we're still able to see our chicken through there. I'd say this is about a nice medium coat of seasoning. So now that we have these all seasoned up, our next step is to go outside and fire up our smoker. Whatever you're gonna be cooking on today, go ahead and get that ready. And then we're just gonna let these sit out on the board until that's done. It's probably gonna take about 15 minutes. It's gonna start to soak into the meat. It's gonna get nice and glistened. And then I have a little secret for you guys. I bought a new device that we're gonna be trying out. So I'm gonna load these up here in a few minutes after we go outside and get our smoker fired up. All right guys, so we are out here at the Pit Boss Austin XL today. We're gonna be using some hickory pellets that I already have loaded up in my hopper. And I'm gonna set this at 250 degrees. So now that we have this all fired up, we're gonna let it preheat. What I like to do is I like to leave the lid open while all that first initial dirty smoke starts to come out. Then once it's good and preheated, I like to shut it down and let it come up to the right temperature, and then I'll get the chicken on there. Okay, so now we are back inside, and I just want to show you the little thing I picked up yesterday to make these legs. All right guys, so check out this contraption that I just got. This is an awesome little unit here. This right here is for our beer can chickens. And then these right here are for our legs. We're gonna hang them right in here. There's enough for 12 of these. And then if you were to flip this whole entire unit over, right in here is a little rib rack. You could fit 6 slabs of ribs in here. So this thing is awesome. I absolutely love it. And it was only like 16 bucks. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and hang these on our rack. I'm gonna be placing 3 on one side, and then I'm gonna be placing 3 on the other side. The reason why I'm doing this is so that the weight is evenly distributed and so that they don't touch each other, because these are really huge drumsticks. All right guys, so we're gonna go ahead and open up our Pit Boss, and we're just gonna set it right here in the middle. Now that our chicken is soaking up some of this nice blue clean smoke, we're gonna let it just hang out here for about a good hour or so. Okay, you guys, so we are back inside. We got our chicken out on our smoker. Now would be a perfect time to make our glaze. We're not gonna need it for about a good hour and a half or so, but I mean, I wanna just get it prepared now and ready. That way, all I gotta do is take it and zap it in the microwave before we go out there to dunk them. And yes, we are gonna be dunking them today. We're not just gonna be, you know, glazing them and painting them like I normally would with chicken. We're just gonna take them right off, slap them, dunk them, slip them back on, throw them around, whatever you do with your chicken, that's what we're gonna be doing today. So, what we're gonna do is we're just gonna squirt out a whole bunch of Sweet Baby Rays in our cup. Then we're gonna be taking our apple cider vinegar and we're just gonna be dumping in a nice little bit. And now we're just gonna mix up the sauce until it's nice and well incorporated, and then it'll be ready. So we are now at the 1 hour mark. I'm gonna go ahead and get a quick temperature read and we'll see where they're at. So these have been smoking at 250 degrees, really nice. And as you guys can see, we're starting to get really nice color on these bad boys. Looks like this is starting to crisp up real nice. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna carefully kind of go in here and try to get a little temperature. I would say that we need to go ahead and sauce these up probably in about a good 20 minutes or so. When they get around 165 degrees, we're gonna go ahead and sauce them up. So go ahead and shut them down. All right guys, so it's been about another 30-35 minutes. I just checked the temperature. They are definitely ready to be glazed. So let's go ahead and dunk them. So don't forget, before you bring this out here, make sure that you microwave it for a little bit. Get it nice and lukewarm or warm. All right, so we're just gonna open this up, and this is gonna be a little bit tricky. I'm gonna have to have this open for a second. I'm gonna kind of move this over here. All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this little guy right off of the back here, and we're just gonna take him. Oh boy, look at this. I did not think about this. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. So now I'll go ahead and set him right back up on here. All right, so we're just gonna go ahead and take some of these off, and we're just gonna drop them in here, kind of spin them around. We're gonna try to get her top of that knuckle all sauced up. Just gonna let it shake off, and we're just gonna set it back on there. Now, again, we're gonna take that bad boy off. We're just gonna set him in there. Let's try to get some of that top. This is real messy. I didn't think about this, but hey, we're just doing what we could do. But check that out. Look at that. Now we're gonna let that sit on here and caramelize a little bit. All right, so we're taking this bad boy, and I gotta kind of speed this up, so I'm just gonna kind of shake this off, get it back on there, get that little guy nice and dunked and sauced up in there. Oh yeah, this is turning out super great. Actually, I'm not gonna be wasting that much sauce. So that's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and shut this down, and we're gonna let this go for about another 15 minutes or so. All right guys, so it's been about a good 15-20 minutes in the smoke. So let's open this bad boy up and see what our finished product looks like. And here we go. Wow, look at the color on these. This color on here is caramelized just so beautifully and so perfectly. I just need to take these inside and take a bite. All right, you guys, we are back inside now, and I just have a little tidbit of information for you guys. So I got those done. I brought them inside. My kid woke up from his nap. My mom came over for a visit, and time just got away from me. So I wanted to make a new batch so that I could actually try them fresh, and I had to kind of rush this one. So I smoked it at a bit higher of a temperature. I did it around 350, 450. I honestly just messed with it the whole time. I was like, no, it needs to go faster. So I turned it up, and then thought it was too hot, so I turned it back down. So the batch that you were about to see that I'm just gonna film as the finished product today. So I just figured I'd be transparent and honest with you guys, so that way you didn't see the finished product and be like, well, those look more charred than the original ones do. And that's why, because I did them at a little bit of a higher temp. But I'm hoping they still got a little bit of smoke in them. They're gonna have a lot more crispy of a skin, a lot more of that nice charred chicken flavor. I did them exactly the same, so you could do them either way that you want. So without further ado, let's see how they came out. So here we go. Wow. Okay, let me give you guys a rundown on this chicken. All right, I think it doesn't have as much smoke flavor as it would had it have been done super low and slow, but the char, I think, really makes up for it, because this has all those little black bits on there, that char from that heat just really crisping up that skin. And then putting that sauce on there, caramelizing down that high heat, really makes up for it. And there is a little bit of smoke. Like, you could tell this wasn't done in an oven. Clearly, it was clearly done on a grill. A little bit of smoke. It's not like a brisket. I know I see people in the comments sometimes saying like, how do you get good smoke in chicken? And really, the only way to do it, is to do it super low and slow, the way that I had first done it. And that's not even really slow and slow enough. I was doing that at 250. You really need to do it at like 200 or 225 for a long period of time to really get deep smoke in chicken. But then, you know, there's other complications that come with that. But this chicken right here, wow, dude, the sauce is so caramelized on there because of that high heat. But yeah, all in all, this is great chicken. I am super, super happy with the way that it turned out. I hope you guys give this a try. I'll just give you a little bit of tidbit of information. If you want to make them hot and fast, I think I did it at about 450 degrees for like 30 to 40 minutes. Then I turned it down to like 350 and I let it ride out the rest of the way. Total time I think was around an hour, a little bit over an hour. I glazed it for like the last like 10 minutes or so, and it turned out like super charred, super nice. The low and slow one I think took about a total of 2 hours at 250 degrees. But please, especially when you're making chicken, please don't just copy my times exactly. Or if your smoker has a hot part or a cold part and you try to just mimic this recipe based off of time, you could end up with raw chicken or overdone chicken. And I wouldn't want you guys getting all angry with me because your chicken didn't turn out good. So please use a thermometer. I have links down below in the description. You can go ahead and check out my thermometer there. I use a ThermoPen MK4. So just go there and check it out, buy one, use it. They're extremely accurate and it'll help you get that perfect chicken. I ended up taking these off around 175, 180 degrees. That's where I like my wings, my thighs, and my drums. So I just wanted to tell you guys that. So that way you could mimic this recipe, and I hope it turns out great for you guys. So with all that being said, we've come to the end of another amazing video. I hope you guys subscribe to the channel, like this video, share it with your friends, or don't share it with your friends, just make the food and share it with them. I love that I get to cook and share these videos with you guys. I hope you enjoy them. And I also hope you have a great day, night, whatever time it is when you find this video, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Look at this guy. Peace.